I'm Kelly with thesuburbansoapbox.com, and today we are making easy lobster mac and cheese. This is so fantastic for any celebration. 3 different kinds of cheeses, heavy cream, lots of carbs, and fresh lobster all baked together with a crispy, crunchy, buttery top. This is the most amazing lobster mac and cheese, and it's definitely going to knock the socks off of any of your guests. So to start our easy lobster mac and cheese, we're going to first make a bechamel sauce. And a bechamel sauce is basically the base for your mac and cheese sauce. It's that creamy, cheesy, oozy sauce that you bake the pasta in. It's the most epic part of the mac and cheese. So to start it, we're going to add to a pot half a cup of butter. So that's 1 stick of butter. And I need to turn my burner down just a little bit. And we're going to melt the butter in the pot. And then once your butter is all melted, we're going to whisk in a 1/4 cup of flour. You're basically going to cook the flour for just a couple minutes, just until it turns a golden brown in color. And you want to cook the flour for a little bit just so it doesn't have that flour flavor. So when it starts to turn the golden brown, it gets a little bit nutty and kind of tastes like a brown butter sauce if you've ever had one of those. And this takes about 4 to 5 minutes until it starts to turn, and you can kind of see a little bit that it is turning golden brown in there. There you go. It's starting to turn golden brown now. So now we're going to add the milk to the pot. And you're going to whisk while you're pouring the milk in slowly so that it doesn't bubble up and boil over. Let's give that a whisk to incorporate everything. And now we're going to stir in the heavy cream. At this point, I like to add just a little bit of nutmeg. I love nutmeg in cream sauces. It kind of gives your sauce something that they can't quite put their finger on, and it's just always kind of a magical spice to add to any kind of cream sauce. And you're going to whisk that together. And then you're going to bring the sauce to a boil. When your sauce starts to thicken up like this, and it's going to get a little frothy on top, we're going to season it a little bit more. I like to add a little bit of ground mustard. Just gives it a nice little bite on the back of your tongue. And whisk that in. Salt and whisk. I like to whisk everything in after each addition. A little bit of fresh cracked pepper. And similar to what I do for my lobster bisque, I like to add a little bit of cayenne. It just makes it taste less flat. It's not super spicy. You can certainly leave it out if you like, but I think it's a nice addition. It's already thick and creamy and amazing. So we're going to turn off the heat, and now we're going to stir in our cheeses. So what I have here is a cup of grated Gruyere, which is like a Swiss cheese, a very mild Swiss cheese, and 2 cups of grated sharp cheddar. And then I also have a cup of Parmesan cheese because I like that salty bite at the end of the Parmesan cheese. So what you want to do at this point is add your cheeses 1 cup at a time And make sure that you stir the sauce after each cup to make sure it's smooth. If you stir in all the cheese at once, it's really going to be hard to melt all of the cheese and you may end up with some lumps. And nobody wants a lumpy mac and cheese. Okay, so I'm going to stir in about 1 cup of this sharp cheddar first. And stir that until it's smooth. And then we're going to add the Gruyere. It's 1 cup. And we want all the cheese and stir to combine. And then add another cup of the cheddar. We'll add the rest of the cheddar, and it may actually have been a little bit more than 2 cups, but that's okay. I don't think anybody has ever been disappointed with mac and cheese that is too cheesy. And then last but not least, the Parmesan. Once you have your cheese sauce finished, we're going to stir in the pasta. And I've already cooked my pasta till al dente, which is, it still has a firm bite to it. It's not overcooked. You definitely don't want to overcook or cook your pasta all the way because it will continue to cook in the oven while it's baking. So I cook it till al dente, which is about 7 to 8 minutes. And I like to use a fun twirly pasta like this. It just captures all of the cheese sauce and the lobster and the breadcrumbs so perfectly, and then you get that perfect bite with every forkful of the lobster mac and cheese. So the pasta is going into the cheese sauce, and we're just going to fold it all in together. And now we're going to fold in the lobster. So you can either cut up your pieces into little bite-sized pieces like this, or you can leave them big like this claw. And I like to use fresh lobster. If you have the opportunity to cook your own lobster, it's very easy to do. You can actually get your seafood department at your grocery store to probably do it for you. But it's simple to do at home. If you just need to steam a lobster tail, you can check my website for broiled lobster tail. It's really easy to do. But in this case, I am using some frozen and thawed lobster meat. It's just as good, but fresh is best. So we're just going to fold the lobster meat into the pot. And be careful if you use frozen lobster, because sometimes it gets a little waterlogged, so you want to make sure you drain it really well so that you don't have a lot of lobster flavor that you don't really want in there. And we're just going to fold all of that together. To bake your lobster mac and cheese, you can do one of 2 things. You can use individual ramekins or little stainless steel pots like I have here, and these are actually really easy to find. I bought these at Home Goods. And you could also use a little ceramic ramekin. I just like the individual presentation plus portion control, so that's how I like to do it. But you can also just pour the whole mac and cheese mixture into a baking dish and bake it off that way, and that works perfectly well too. So you're going to coat whatever you decide to bake your mac and cheese in, just coat lightly with cooking spray. It's just going to make your life so much easier when you're doing the dishes later. Okay, we'll give it one last stir, and then we're going to spoon it into the ramekins. finish everything off, we're going to add some melted butter to some panko breadcrumbs. And I like panko breadcrumbs because they're light, kind of already crispy. The butter's just going to make them even more amazing. So toss that together. And you can season this with salt and pepper if you like. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's entirely up to you. If you're sensitive to salt, you may want to leave it out. Now just sprinkle the top of your mac and cheese with your buttery breadcrumbs. Now to bake your mac and cheese, you're going to place this in a 400-degree oven and bake for approximately 15 to 20 minutes until the top is crispy, golden brown, and the edges are bubbling and also golden brown. When your lobster mac and cheese is bubbling and golden brown, it's finished and ready to enjoy. See how easy it is to make homemade lobster mac and cheese completely from scratch in less than an hour. So creamy and decadent and rich and crispy and amazing. This is the best lobster mac and cheese on the planet. For more recipes and tips, visit thesuburbansoapbox.com. And if you like this video, please be sure to share it.